Well, the most impactful moment I've witnessed had been in Memphis, Tennessee, when Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. I was going down to get some sandwiches at the hotel, at the Lorraine Hotel, from the owner of the hotel. His daughter said the sandwiches was ready, and I went down to get them for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I heard something come over the fence it was like water going, shoo, shoo, like that. It was the man shooting Dr. King, and then when I looked up there, saw his legs sticking out there, and Andrew Young and all of them were surrounding him. Then I realized that something spectacular had happened. So that day, the FBI told us all we was under arrest. We couldn't move. We had to stay there until they interviewed us. But then I did call Coretta Scott King and let her know what was happening, and she flew right in on a Delta plane, and we put the body on the plane that evening, and we flew back to Atlanta with the body of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. About in 3 days, the funeral would be planned. It would be ready to have the funeral. And so I slept in the church because I had no money to go get a hotel room or anything like that. And things was moving so fast, so I just stayed in the church those 3 days with a blanket and on my camera and my equipment until the funeral began. I was stunned. I never had went through anything like that before in my life, and I just didn't know how to take it. And but it was a sensational thing. But as the day wound on, as the funeral was being planned, then I kind of got hold of myself a little bit. I thought that it would be the end of what we were doing. I was an organizer, so I had come from New York, where I had been organizing in New York and places like that. So I just thought that we would have one of the other men like Jesse Jackson or Andrew Young, or one of them would carry on, you know. But I didn't think that far ahead. Well, after the funeral, after Bobby Kennedy got killed after, yeah, and all of that, so we just thought that they was going to kill all the civil rights leaders. The Klan was going to have us all killed. So we felt that way. Any blacks that was out speaking and doing anything like that, we thought that they would, you know, under odds to be killed. We had a meeting in Bal Harbour, Florida, where we decided what we were going to do. We was going to kind of settle down right then and regroup, and then go from there. They didn't call it the civil rights movement so much as y'all do now. We was just developing the civil rights movement to a standard guidepost at that time. But I was there for the AFL-CIO. I was there organizing the sanitation workers and was there signing cards every morning at the gate of the garbage man at the garbage plant. So I realized then that something had happened, and I didn't know how it would affect my organizing for the union. Went to Atlanta and had the meeting and what have you. Well, and everybody in their hometowns decided to reorganize. That's what we did. Mm. They had little marches in your hometown, Denver, and New York, and Chicago, and what have you. And so at that time, Ebony magazine had all kind of books out and all kind of periodicals, and people was reading all that, what happened to Dr. King. Mm. Well, I like years from now, many years from now, I'll be gone, but I like them to think that there's a reason and a purpose that connects with the slaves that on the plantation they somehow knew this moment would come when we will be free. Somehow they knew they wouldn't be free, but they were willing to take the suffering because they knew somehow there was going to be a day of freedom. And I believe that the slaves were right.